Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It Over Cocktails with Carly. I am your host, Miss Carly, baby. Tonight we have the Kiana Dancie here to discuss her event, the Baggage Claim ATL. Of course, it's worldwide, but ATL and so much more, especially about relationships. So we're going to get in her business tonight. Stay tuned. The Kiana Dancie. Welcome.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you. So
Okay,
do you.
thank you. Got your cute little outfit on. You looking
Come
cute
on, girl.
today.
You know there's a
Hair
story.
done, face done.
Everything's done.
So, you've got some new stuff going on.
I do.
So tell us about it. Tell us about this new stuff going on. Because it's been all over Instagram, you guys. I've been seeing it. They've been seeing everybody's been seeing it.
So we're going to start at the beginning. So I wrote a book called Bye Bye Bags, Laughing to the Light and the Low. And you already know, like my thing, I'm keeping 100.
Right.
So that's what I mean by you already know.
Right.
So Bye Bye Bags, it wasn't deep. I literally got I got plastic surgery. I had the bags under my eyes removed.
Okay.
Girl, don't it look good?
Yes.
Right.
I would have never imagined you with bags, though.
Well, I mean, you got to get the book. So Dr. Wright Jones.
She said you got to get the book.
Get the book, girl. Wright Jones did me well. He's a black plastic surgeon here in Atlanta. But anyway, so I got the surgery. I was laying in my bed, healing, having a very conversation with God. I was like, Lord, please heal me good. Let me come out of this thing looking younger and prettier. I had my eyes closed like this, and I had bandages over my eyes.
Oh, so you had no idea?
No idea. Couldn't see me yet. And so I was laying there. I couldn't see myself. Laying there, and I'm like, oh, Lord, let me come out of here and be younger and pretty because I'm going to kill these hoes. Having a full-fledged, petty conversation with God. And he said, daughter, yes, you will be younger looking. Yes, you will be prettier looking. Yes. But you are ugly on the inside.
Oh.
I ain't like that. And you know how I responded. Who you talking to and who you calling ugly?
Right.
He said you. He said you can be inconsiderate sometimes. You can be rude. You can be dismissive. You can be short. You can be curt. He read me for filth. I said, okay, Lord. Okay, fine. Wow. So as I was laying in my bed, there was nothing that I could do while I was healing from my baggage externally. I had to work on my internal baggage. Now, that made a lot of sense to me because I know that there were things that I had been carrying around. There were things I had been dragging around. You know, I'm a child molestation survivor. I lost my dream job on a national syndicated talk show. I was in a long-term relationship. Listen, girl, the man proposed to me 4 times. I said no every time. Every time. He said I look like his future, and I said, but you don't look like mine. You don't look like my future at all. That girl. And so I was like, okay, so I had to make some decisions about my life, and I started working on my internal baggage, unpacking the baggage that I was carrying.
Okay.
And I said, okay, God, I wrote this book. Now what?
Right.
He said, baggage claim. And that is what this is. So baggage claim is December 17th. We had the first event, the first baggage claim we did July 23rd. Okay. And I know many of you are asking, what is baggage claim? Okay. Baggage claim is a safe place for women like me, you, everyone that's watching to come claim, release, and heal from the emotional baggage that you may have carried or currently carrying. You come, you claim it, because I was telling people to get rid of their emotional baggage. Right. That they haven't even acknowledged that they had. So that's it. I was going to say, so what you did in the midst of you speaking to God and having to go through, you did shadow work. So you have to go through. Yes, come on, yes, I did some shadow work. So you have to do the shadow work, and that's what you did in order to come up with the baggage claim. Yes, but you know, I can't take credit for any of this. How? It was your life. No, it was my life, but it wasn't my idea. God put this one on me. Okay. I got to give him all the credit. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I was like, what now, God? And he was like, baggage claim. He said, you around here telling these people, these women, to get rid of their emotional baggage. And half of them think, and don't know anything wrong with them. Half of them think they perfect. Most of them think, I'm good. But that's a word. Are you really okay? Are you really not struggling? So how does one know? Because this is a word within a word. Come on. So how does one know when they need to actually do the shadow work? First of all, you won't hate me when I say this. Go ahead. If you're a female that have no female friends, you need to work on yourself.
You need to
It can't be everybody else.
It's not everybody but you.
Everybody else. If you're a female that has no female friends, if every relationship you go into is broken, it's terrible, it's horrible, it's him. When do you start to turn the mirror on yourself? When do you start? I mean, if you're getting to the point where even when you go on the job and you always got friction and frustration and issues with your job, girl, the common denominator in all those situations is you. So you need to do, and you always mad, you're always angry. You have so much frustration. Yeah. If you cannot figure out, okay, first of all, you may not be able to figure it out. Right. And I support that.
Some people can't.
You cannot, but that is when you go get professional help.
Right. What do you think about women that do have a lot of girlfriends? Yeah. But then you see the type of girlfriends that they're actually with.
I think it's an overcompensation of something they're trying to. Yeah, like if you have all these girls around you and nobody's feeding to you, no one's supporting you, no one's honoring you, no one's building you. Right. What are you doing? Like, I don't know why you need a tribe of clowns around you who are not building you.
You know what? You hit it on that. I think that's so interesting because I do see some women, they're around a lot of different women all the time.
All the time.
And it makes me wonder, like, are these really your friends?
Probably not. They're probably not. I mean, we do, especially in the industry, you tend to develop groups of friends, right? And that's not, I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that, but you should still have a core. Yes. You still, when you die, who's going to be there helping your mama with your funeral? If you had a baby, who was at your house? Right. Taking care of, taking the what do you call it? I ain't had nobody's baby. the shifts.
The doula.
The doula. Who's going to be your doula? Who's going to be on the shifts to help you make sure that you have somebody? Right. Who is there when you sick that's going to drop off the food at the door? Right. Or who is there? So who is your core? Right. But I'm not saying that it's something wrong with having a gang. I'm just saying you need to be concerned.
Personally, I agree. You have to be concerned about who's really in your inner circle. Because I see women, some women, not all women, but I do see some women, and I'm just like on Instagram, I'll see them, and I'll just be like, wow, you're just with a lot of people all the time. Like, and that really...
also may be an issue too, because they don't want to be alone and they don't want to be by themselves. Right. So when you're by yourself, what are you running from? Because yourself. And those thoughts in your head, you might need to deal with those with a professional. And I don't have a problem because I subscribe to PCP.
Okay, what is PCP?
Okay, here you go, girl, because we just talked about your friend on the shrooms off air. So we're going to make sure we clarify this.
The PCP.
We're not talking about the drugs. We're not talking about the drugs. But PCP, first of all, I believe wholeheartedly that if you having issues and you're struggling and you're dealing with things, I'm always going to say pray. Because I'm a believer. You got to take your issues and lay them at the mantle. But the second thing, you have got to get on a couch. Because here's the thing about that. Just because you pray, and the word say, pray without works is dead. So you got to take that, drop it off, let it at the mantle, and God is going to say, hey, while I'm working on this, you need to be working on that.
You have to do the work.
Sit on the couch with a professional.
I'm an advocate for therapy.
Yes, a therapist, a counselor, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, somebody that can write you a prescription, which is P. Now, I don't advocate everyone having to get a prescription because you may not need it. Yes. And I don't think that every doctor should give everybody a prescription. Right. I think you might need a second opinion before you just jumping into a prescription.
Yeah, because I think that sometimes people just need to unload some of that.
Just have someone to talk to. But know that the prescription is an option. Right. Right. Because if you have, if you're hearing voices, or if you have social anxieties that you cannot go somewhere and contain yourself and control yourself, you might need a prescription. If you are bipolar, all of these things that have been, you've been diagnosed with something, you might need a prescription to help you settle in your spirit and in the body.
And in the body and in the mind. But I will tell you, I'm such an advocate for therapy. I think it is very important. I've been going through therapy for the past 3.5 years.
Come on, sis.
I think that it is so important. And I love my therapist. Yes. And it keeps me very sound, but I think a lot of people should.
Yes. I believe every black person, every person of color that has any descendants of a slave
come through
should have a therapist. That should be in our, what we asking for?
Reparations.
Reparations, yeah. Look, I ain't go to the meeting, but I want mine, okay? Right? So we asking for our reparations. Right. We should be appointed a therapist.
Exactly. I would agree. So to get to the baggage claim, you have to do the shadow work.
Yes.
Okay. And then once you're past the shadow work, right? Once you're past that shadow work, now you're able to be an advocate.
Yes. Okay. I'm an advocate for women letting go of the baggage that has held them captive or hostage. We have been through so many things as a woman. I mean, when I say relationships, we've been held just captive in the mind. You're looking at social media. You're like, okay, you're comparing yourself to what is really not real, but in your mind, you're saying, this is real. I'm not good enough. I'm not perfect enough. You know, there's always someone, somebody, or something making you feel inadequate. So as a woman, we bear children. We're the pillars of the community. So I think it's very important that we do the work to make sure we're good. And I'm starting with women because let me tell you this. I believe wholeheartedly, if you fix the woman, you fix the family, you fix the family, you fix the community, you fix the community, you eventually fix the world. Now, I do believe that men are very important. This is a women's empowerment celebration. But just because I am saying to you, we're empowering women, that does not mean I'm emasculating men.
Right. Have you gotten any sort of kick?
I have.
What? We can't have nothing.
If I give my flyer to a woman in front of her husband, he's like, well, I don't want to be there too. Why, sir?
Sir, it's pink. And it's women empowerment.
Okay. But I believe that, you know, we start with the woman, but I would really love to see empowered men. I would love to see happy, whole, and healed men. So this doesn't stop with us.
Right.
We're going on and on and on. But know that this is a celebration of us being happy, healed, and whole.
And so it needs to, and I love that. It needs to start, to your point, it needs to start with us.
Yes.
You know, because we are the foundation, believe it or not, we are the foundation. You know,
of the family,
and
the
village.
Okay. That part. Girl, you know, the people come to mama first.
Right.
Daddy can be in the house, but mama going to have all the solutions and answers.
Right. Okay, so how was the last event in July?
Oh, it was amazing. We had 100 women in the room.
That's beautiful.
Camille Denise, a poet, she was so amazing. I brought her back.
Okay.
So she's going to be at this event December 17th. We have another singer. We had Miss Glennis July 23rd. And she was amazing too. We're taking it up 10 notches.
Yes.
We had Lachey Knox, Stellar Award-winning Lachey Knox, who's a singer.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so she's going to be in the room. So when you buy your ticket, you will get an autographed copy of my book.
Okay.
You will get the singer and the poet, and then you get a professionals on a panel, mental health and other professionals, a life coach, a mental health professional.
You have your resources right there.
Yes, we have a women's advocate, and then we have a minister in training and a doctor.
I love that.
So this is going to be, these women are all here to talk to you about how not allowing yourself to heal from your emotional baggage can hinder you in the mind, body, and spirit.
It's so true. It's so funny you say that. I was actually telling one of my really good friends this yesterday. He found out he had some ulcers. And I said, that's because...
A guy?
Yes.
Okay.
I said, that's because you're holding on to baggage. You're holding on to hurt, frustration, and traumas, and you need to let that go, because what happens is if you don't let it go, it creates internal illnesses for you. So from a mind, body, and spirit aspect, it just kind of flows. It's ebb and flow. If you are stressing out, you're holding in these traumas, you're going to get it internalizes.
Oh, it does. And it comes out in acne, it comes out in ulcers, high blood pressure,
cancer,
inflammation in your body, cancer. But hold on, let's be clear.
Okay.
It also might be a little bit too many hot wings in his belly. You hear me?
It's definitely hot wings in his belly.
Listen, I went to the hospital a couple weeks ago. 2 months ago, and I thought I was having a heart attack. I full-fledged was like, I'm dying. Somebody do something, girl. I said, oh, this is the big one. And so
Elizabeth,
I'm coming. So I went to the doctor, and they kept me because of my family history. My grandmother died at 43 from a heart attack.
Oh my God.
And my father died from complications of open heart surgery. So of course they kept me. They did all the tests, did everything they needed to do, body scan or whatever. So the doctor comes in, cardiologist said, you want the good news, bad news? I said, just give me the news. When I want to die. I want to know that.
Right.
He said, ma'am, your heart is young. You have a strong heart, but your belly is old. You cannot go to sleep on a belly full of hot wings. And that is exactly what I went to sleep on. Girl, I had hot wings.
Yeah.
My belly 44.
So let me tell you, I went vegan years ago. Okay, for 6 years. And then I started incorporating over COVID. I started incorporating some like protein, but I don't
protein
eat meat.
In what capacity? Like fish. Okay, yeah.
So I don't eat meat. No chicken, no hot wings. Which that used to
Bless
be
you.
That used to be my meat of choice.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, and when I tell you, I'm able to lose weight really quick, and I'm able to put it on real fast.
Yes, me too, sis, me too.
Because the carbs, I love sweets, and I love rich foods, and I like it at all times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so my doctor said, in order for you to keep off your weight, you can eat what you like because you're able to gain and you're able to lose really quick.
Yeah.
But you got to work out.
You got to,
And I was like, and then
you ain't had to cuss.
Wait, oh, no, that wasn't the cursing part. The cursing part was the fact that I said, I just feel like I need to lose. So he says, you're a curvy black African-American woman.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you're never going to be a size 2.
Oh.
Carly. I was like, all right, sign me out. I'm done.
Done.
Because I don't need you telling me, that I'm not going to be a size 2.
And speaking to me so harshly.
I know, but I love Dr. Small. He's amazing. But yeah, so yes, the shadow work, the baggage, getting to the baggage, unloading the baggage. You have these events. That's amazing.
Yes, and baggage claim is going to be worldwide. So we have baggage claim ATL. There will be baggage claim NYC, CHI, LAX, HOU, PHX. So we're coming. No matter where you are, we are coming. But we're right here in Atlanta, December 17th, 12 to 4.
Yes.
Just in time to get in, get out, and do what you got to do.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Anything else you want to tell people about your event?
You know what? I don't want you to miss this. It's going to be a transformational experience. And it is for the women. So women, listen. Women, listen to me. Be in the building. And fellas, you can support by buying your girlfriends, your wives, your daughters, your sisters, and even your side chick, honey. You can buy them a ticket. Now, I'm not going to make you no promises. She come to this event. She might not come home
want to go back
as your side chick, sir. But please, I will be honored to have your support.
Yes.
So Baggage Claim ATL is a safe place to come lay it all down. We're going to be happy, whole, and healed by the time. We're going to come in one way and leave another.
So we'll be sure to make sure that, our listeners and viewers can access the sign-in information or get their tickets.
Yes, it's at the ATL Comedy Theater downtown. There's a new location at Underground Atlanta.
Really?
Underground Atlanta is
I
opening
heard you
back.
say something about the Underground Atlanta.
So there's 2 ATL Comedy Theaters, one in Norcross and one at Underground. Beautiful, beautiful location. So when you walk in, just y'all come dressed to the nines.
Yes.
Come look gorgeous because this space speaks to how you want to feel all the time. It's sexy.
I'm here for it.
It's beautiful, and it's gonna give you that feeling that I want to be renewed. Yeah,
and I love that. I'm glad that you decided to do this, and so this is between you and God's plan.
Come on, that part. The first time we did it at an event center.
Yes.
Thinking, now that I'm kind of leaning in a different space, I thought maybe I needed to be in a event center.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what I've learned is laughter. First of all, comedy always have a root of pain.
Right.
And secondly, anything hard to swallow is easier to swallow with a little bit of laughter. So we're going to do this in the comedy spot, and I'm a comedian, so why not?
So wait, let's get to that.
Yeah.
So are you on the road, or what's going on with your
I'm not
comedy?
on the road as much as I used to be.
Yeah.
I am, honestly, I've slowed down with that COVID. Now that
COVID slowed everybody down.
But now I'm back up and running. But I am going back on the road with Baggage Claim. So Baggage Claim is taking me on tour.
So that's your baby right now.
That is my baby. That is my baby.
That.
Yes.
I think the last time we spoke, you were opening up for Dave Chappelle.
Yes, I did. It was an amazing experience.
I love Dave Chappelle.
It was.
I would have loved to come to that. I love Dave Chappelle. I saw him at I think it was the Tabernacle.
Yes.
I saw him a couple years back, years ago, when he was at the Tabernacle.
It was
and it was amazing.
It was so amazing. And just to watch him do what he do, and for him to give me feedback and even ask me what you think. I was like, what I thought.
What I thought.
Right,
you were
amazing.
amazing.
Amazing. Right, that part, yeah. But it was very good. I was very humbled to have the opportunity to do that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, question, can we get into some relationship conversation? Because we love that.
Let me
get some water.
Let me get some water because it's about to get deep.
So she drinking pineapple juice and Canadian dry, y'all. The secret's out.
It is. Go ahead, girl.
So you guys, the printer wasn't working, but I have my phone, so please forgive. Okay, guys. So I wanted to know if I wanted to get into the relationships, and I wanted to know, what do you think that women are doing to turn off men?
Oh, my goodness. I think guys are over all of the additions that we add.
Oh, what's an addition? Because we know what it is.
I know. Too much hair, too much lipstick, too much makeup. They don't like that. But they say they don't like that. But when you see them with the girl, that's what she is.
Yeah.
And then, like, well, I thought you didn't like all that. But who is this woman?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think also guys don't particularly like the body work, the plastic surgery.
Really?
I think they say that, but then when you see the girl that they with.
Why do guys say that? So we need to have a guy because to help us both understand.
They lie.
Why do men, so women go and get this plastic surgery, okay? Do you think they get it for men, or do you think they get it for themselves?
They absolutely get it for men, and let me tell you why. Because if you let me just see if I can paint this picture for you.
Okay.
If you're with a man and you see him turn his head every time, and it's to a woman to have something that you don't have,
right?
You're gonna assume, oh, he likes a curvier woman,
right?
Even though he's with me,
right?
You know what I mean? He's with me, but let's say this: what if he cheats on you?
Oh.
And the woman he cheats on you with is a curvy.
Oh my God.
What if, so eventually he starts to plant a seed. I'm not saying this is right or wrong.
Right.
I'm only saying that this could be an option to,
right.
A perspective.
That's a viable option.
Yeah. So
if
you see him, say for example, if he cheats on you with only white girls, you can assume he like white girls.
He probably likes blonde hair.
Whatever. Whatever. I'm just saying there's a lot of things that you can make assumptions about. And again, we don't have a man here to ask, but I do believe that the women get plastic surgery. One, it's not just for us, because like I don't care nothing about you having nice boobs,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But it's to attract a different man.
I would agree, and I also think that it's for women too.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why. Because I really think that some women get plastic surgery, the embellished plastic surgery, not just I want to get a little lipo on here because I've got this little stubborn fat. You get these women that are like, my ass is bigger than hers. I got the biggest this and I got the biggest that. And I think it becomes a competition as to whose body can be the most perfect.
That's an insecurity. And that's a broken woman. That is something going on in her head and her spirit. She doesn't love herself. She is trying to reach a certain level of perfection in her mind. And whether she's comparing herself to someone else or not, I don't know. But I am saying that when she looks in the mirror, she does not see perfection. And somebody has planted a seed in her. Whether someone has not loved her the way that she originally was. And now she's reaching for that level of perfection that's impossible to reach and to obtain.
Wow. So do you think it's first the insecurity, the internal insecurity?
Absolutely.
Okay, before getting it done for a man.
I absolutely believe it's an internal insecurity.
Okay.
And I think that they speak to each other. The internal insecurity, if she can't get the man that she wants, or she's not getting men, period. Because, there are, like I just told you, I said, guys don't approach me directly. They don't. They kind of do this sideways thing, and I'm like, whoa.
Right.
You trying to talk to me? I missed it. I didn't know. Send me a note. I didn't know. So, like, and then when the guys that do come to me, if there are guys that come to me, you be like, now, what in the world? Why did you think that you could ever? But they speak to each other, meaning the insecurity and her trying to reach that level of perfection that's unattainable, right? And then she's trying to, she's like, well, look at me, and she's trying to pour all the sauce on her. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I think, for me, I personally think it's all about the lack of self-esteem.
Yeah.
The increased insecurities, and also she's doing it for the man that she wants, whatever that man is.
I would agree.
It may not be a particular man, but it is a type of man.
Yeah.
And that type of man likes that type of look on a woman.
On a woman, right. And so I think that there's been an influx in this surgery. Do you think that men are veering towards women that have more natural bodies?
There has been a trend from what this is just me speaking from what I see.
In your opinion.
Yeah, my opinion. And so I think there's been a trend because even Kim Kardashian, she slimmed
Girl,
down.
did you see this?
Girl, she
transformation.
She bulked up, and now she slimmed down. Now you got everybody trying to do what she do because they've set the standard, quote unquote, and the tone for what is acceptable. But again, I believe wholeheartedly that we'll always follow trends, whether they're right or wrong.
But there's extremities to trends.
There is, absolutely. Yeah. Like, for example, there was a time when, in the 80s and 90s, we wore a little ponytail or two. Right. But when you saw somebody with a lot of weave, you'd be like,
oh,
you got a whole wig?
Not a wig either.
Right.
Girl, a wig.
Oh,
grandma.
Right.
Now, that's the way of life.
Right. And even now, so I have my nails done because I wanted them to breathe.
You gave them to Jesus for a little while.
Right. And you looked at me like, oh, I said, girl, it's just one day. It's just one day. But there is a trend to always be on, perfect, pretty.
Yes.
There's a trend. And so, like you said, men are moving more towards natural bodies.
I think men are moving towards natural bodies. But I do believe that there is a lust over that certain look, the very voluptuous, small Barbie doll look. Yeah. And I hate to say it, but women have really, and we talked about this on our last show, and we kind of talked about this a little bit, but I think that it falls into the over-sexualizing yourself. Mm-hmm. And men have now learned to over-sexualize us in that same regard.
So, it's interesting that you would even bring that up. I would definitely agree with you. And I heard you say that a woman said that we are over sexualizing and ourselves.
Yes.
And no, men are.
Right.
Okay, so I believe we are.
We are.
I believe women are over sexualizing. Ain't nobody putting in some cases, you might be held captive or hostage or in a sex traffic situation. And if you need help, sis, blink. But what I am saying to you is no one, for the most part, is forcing you to bend over and cock your legs up on the Instagram.
With a thong on.
That part. I don't have to see, even when girls take pictures with their butt poked out like that, like nobody asked you.
Right. Nobody asked for that solicitation.
Right. So I think, honestly, I do believe that there's, on both sides, there's over-sexualization from the man and from the woman. But the man is responding to what he sees the woman do.
And that is the problem.
Yeah.
I think that men are equally as responsible for this.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't interested in it, they wouldn't give it the attention. And then I feel like some women would stop. God. But they go and get these super small waists and these ginormous butts, and men are like going goo-goo eyes. Yeah. And they're like, oh, that's what you like?
Okay, so it's funny. I love this conversation. Let me tell you something. I love this conversation because I will also say to you, that's the same way. So we show our bodies and men show their money, and you're mad. So my father told me one time, I was very young and I didn't understand it. He said, baby girl, man will lead with his money or his sex. And I didn't understand that at the time. And he said, pay attention to both. He said, a man not happy with himself if his money not right and if his sex ain't right. Now, that's not to say that he doesn't bring anything else to the table.
Right.
But a man don't feel good about himself if he said manhood. If his manhood is not right.
Right.
And his money is not right. If you ain't got that
money in that manhood.
he gonna be some kind of way.
Right.
He gonna be angry. He might treat you he might be
agree
bitter.
with that.
Yes. So, and then women feel we lead with what? Our bodies, right? And oftentimes we lead with the fact that what can I help? Can I fix him? Can I do this?
Oh, child, right. That was my life before.
Right. So that is an issue. So we really need, and we've lost the art of interacting, communicating, getting to know the person, because before you even know who I am, you already sizing up my waist and my behind.
Right.
So whose fault is that?
So I think it's a collective fault. Mm-hmm. I think that you could be, so as a woman, I think you could be sexy without showing every single thing. I agree. You can even wear something tight without it being short and backless.
I agree.
If you're showing your back, you shouldn't be showing your front.
Yes.
Okay, and vice versa. If you're wearing something short, then, or something.
You ain't got to give it all.
You don't have to give it all.
Right. Right.
And I think as it relates to a man, I think that men should also respect women that are being graceful. Mm-hmm. I think we need to bring grace back. Be mauve.
There's a lot.
There's a lack of that. There's a lack of
that. And men are just not interested in, I can't speak for men. I'll just tell you that men are less likely, as I've seen, to get to know who you are.
If you're not showing
everything.
And
then also the perception is, you're going to be too hard of a nut to crack. You got too much going on. You too busy. You look like you got it going on too much.
So do you think that men are intimidated by women that are would you consider it strong, or women with a foundation?
I think absolutely.
Why? Is it our black men? Can we speak to our black men? Or are we speaking to men in general?
I will tell you, I believe that a lot of black men have an issue with women who have it going on.
I would agree with you.
And this is not
a bashing thing. This is real talk.
I'm just saying, if you look at a Becky and a Keisha, there's differences in the way we move.
Right.
And typically, Becky is a little bit more, I don't want to say subdued, but she's a little bit more passive than Keisha.
Right.
So I've been told, dude, don't want, he used the N-word. I don't want to deal with that all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Deal with
what? Her mouth, Keisha's mouth, her attitude. She's always on the move. She always want to go.
Do you think that some strong women come off too masculine?
I definitely think that strong women have replaced their femininity with strength. And I think that that's an art. We definitely have to, but again, I just said it, empowering women does not mean that I'm emasculating you. And we have to also extend each other grace in that.
Yes.
Listen, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. the evolution of a strong woman came because of a weak man. I told you this before.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying I want to be this strong, but I am saying because when I looked around and my back was against the wall, I had to take care of me. So what needs to happen is a woman, the only way a woman would lay down all her weapons and lay down lay it down.
I'm gonna let you say it,
is if she has a safe place, if she trusts you. This is not just about you coming in with the biggest penis in the room. We can get, matter of fact, Rose has replaced you, sir. And matter of fact, I came before you got here, sir.
Okay.
I needed you. What I need is when I need a man,
a physical man, and his masculinity.
Right here next to me, standing toe to toe, flat foot, ready to go with answers, and not just with empty hand and big penis. And sir,
let me tell you something. I mean, real talk. I won't allow a man to get that close to me unless I know that he is somebody I can see myself with.
I get that.
And there are lonely nights because of it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not even gonna lie about it, but it's really one of those things where I get to keep my moral respect. Mm-hmm. You know, I get to preserve my body count.
Yep.
I get to preserve a lot of me and my,
your aggravation and frustration. You don't have to deal with it, right?
Because I'm not putting myself in those type of situations. And I think we have to, I've noticed that, and I was talking to Trav about this earlier, is I truly believe a lot of women are preserving their body count, for lack of a better statement, and their moral values. They're preserving it nowadays because they're just like, these men don't deserve me. And it's not like I'm gonna go and be a gay woman, you know, but it's like I want a man, and I'm willing to preserve that until he comes around.
Girl, women have, listen, we have gotten our CDLs and men are carrying purses these days. The dynamics have shifted and change, and I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I want to be able to look to my man for answers. I want to look to him to pray for, with, and over me. I want him to be, even if he doesn't know the answer, I want to know that he had a counsel, he thought about it.
Yeah.
He was like, well, you know, let me see what I could do and let me figure it out. Opposed to me having all the solutions, he have even some. Yeah. And we can come to the table and come to a conclusion together.
Yep.
I'm not saying that you have to do this by yourself, but I am saying it would be nice that you at least try. I'll tell you this, it was a guy who claimed, he swore up and down that he wanted to date me. Swore up and down. And the only thing I asked him to do was respect my time by making a plan.
Okay.
So it'll always be, hey, what you doing today? I'm sorry, I'm busy.
Nope, I don't do same day dates.
What you doing tomorrow?
Unless I want to.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm busy. You telling me that you didn't know 3 days ago that you might have a Wednesday open that you can call Kiana and say, I would like to take you to dinner?
Because I think that men need to understand the difference. Because there's some chicks out there that's okay with that.
And that is the issue.
They need to learn and understand the type of woman that they're dealing with.
Yes, but see, it's not even learn. He has to respect because he knows the type of woman he's dealing with. Because I've said no over and over again, but he doesn't respect the type of woman, because there is a woman that would drop everything because of who he is, and I get it. And I oftentimes don't blame the men; I blame the women, because we allow this behavior to continue to happen, and we don't hold them accountable.
Right.
So if you keep telling me especially in Atlanta dating system is ecosystem is a very, very strained.
It's toxic.
And it's a toxic dating ecosystem. And what I mean by that, you have a portion of men that are gay, bi, down low. Then you got Molly and Polly. Molly high, drunk all the time. Polly lifestyle. I'm not interested in any of those. And then you got the husbands. Husbands, okay, at least you know you're committed. But why you out here in the dating pool, sir? And then you got the Geronimos who don't have nothing going on, but he wants us women to take care of him. Sir, no. And then you got that one good dude, that slice of good guys. But guess what? There's so many women that's
competing for that guy.
And I hate the word competing, but essentially that's what it is, because he doesn't have to do right.
You know, it's so funny we even use the word compete in this regard, because my girlfriend was telling me there was this guy that was trying to pursue her, and he took her on a trip and bought her some nice things, and she just felt, she's a very established woman, and she could buy those things herself. And so he's like, you need to understand, like, why are you not competing for my heart? And she was like, excuse me, sir, I don't compete. Either you like me and you want to pursue me and we do this, or you don't.
Right.
So, yes, you do have that guy that's that good piece of pie that's like, all right, what can you do for me now?
Right, and it shouldn't even be that. And so men have, biblically, they have forgotten that women, we are the prize. And I understand a good man, especially in Atlanta, is the prize.
Yeah.
Or can be a prize, or can be. I even hate using that term, but it is what it is, and I'm not doing that. That whole environment, that the ecosystem has created a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
A side chick.
Girl.
The side chick. I mean, when I'm driving down 85. And I know this is seen all over the world, but on 85, y'all, there's a whole sign that says the side chick is better than the main chick, and it's for Crystal's commercial. It's a lady she's a beautiful woman, and she's holding a little chicken sandwich that Brittany Winter is saying.
Oh yeah,
she said
Brittany always gets herself in those type of little debacles.
I don't know who the lady is, but the point is she's sitting up there on a national television. I mean, national brand saying. Side chick is better than
and she's a black woman.
And she's a black woman.
So, okay, so I get very passionate about this, and it really pisses me off because I hate the way black women are constantly being depicted, both with themselves, how they're showing everything on Instagram, and what other nationalities are doing to us.
So whose fault is that?
It's ours.
Fault. It's our fault because we do have to get to the point where we just say no. Because the thing is, right now, where we're the notion, what is the word? The behavior. That's not the right phrase either. But we're all about getting to the bag. So she probably was paid good money to do that and didn't think about anything past. I'm gonna be on a national.
Well, that's a lot of what happens with us. We're always easily swayed with money.
Absolutely.
Like our moral values. Can be bought easily.
Yes.
I mean, and not to get into politics, but look at Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker.
Herschel knows damn well that he's not the best candidate. I'm going to be just honest. Everybody can see the commercials. He can barely compose a sentence without saying words that make absolutely no sense. That's not even in a dictionary.
Sure.
So what this shows me is it's almost like he's being made it as a mockery. And so it's embarrassing because then when you have young kids coming up and they're supposed to look up to this person, and he sounds like he didn't even graduate from elementary school.
Well, he is the pawn that they're putting in place to do move their narrative and their plans forward. And so, unfortunately, we can get into this a whole nother topic about voting, how people don't understand the importance of voting. Before black women were ever given the opportunity to vote, black men were given the opportunity to vote. They were given by law the right to vote. So then when we were given the right to vote, then we replaced them as the ones that save everybody's campaign. But you don't respect us, you don't honor us, you don't appreciate us. So we can talk about that all day. But it's very unfortunate, and I think wholeheartedly, black women, we're going to have to save ourselves because no one is going to come and save us. When there is an issue, there's no one rallying out for us. There's no one out there marching on our behalf.
Right.
We have to do it.
So I think for me, and I can understand that, and I've experienced both sides of it. I personally, as we kind of progress from it, I can definitely see that there are more black men, even in my social circle, that are seeking real black women. They actually want love, but what's happened is it's almost like we went through the calm before the storm, then we went through the storm, and then we're past the storm, and everybody's washed out. Like, I've been in poly, I've been in, with a married guy, I've been with a married woman, and now everybody's kind of sitting here like, what do we do now? So I truly believe there are some people out here that really want real relationships.
I believe that too.
They're just hurt.
I believe that too.
They don't know where to go.
Full circle baggage claim. I get it, but you can't make someone who your past pay for your present. Your present pay for your past.
Yes.
Your present you should be healed by the time. And if you're going through your healing process and you're broken, that's fine. Hear me clearly. But you have to be actively working on your healing process.
Shadow work.
It's not my responsibility to pay for what you've been through in your past. By the time you get to me and you want to be in a relationship with me and you and you and you or whoever, let's talk about healing.
Right.
What have you done to become a better you? What have you done to pull yourself together and put them pieces together? And so if that does not look like work, first of all, you have to acknowledge that you have a problem.
Yes.
You have to acknowledge that you have been broken. Yes. So that is the issue. And then, like I said before, I think all black people need therapy.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
We all need their therapy because all the things that we've been through.
Right.
And I'm not saying that things, life will continue to throw blows at you.
It's
but
gonna
you got to
continue.
It is, but you have to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
to
and
stay
it doesn't
ahead
stop.
Of it. Yes, absolutely.
So what do you think that men are doing to turn women off?
Girl.
She said, girl.
Well, I think a lot of it is there's not a lot of assertive men. I haven't seen that.
Okay.
I think men are taking a little bit more a passive approach to women. They're not as, I don't feel that there's a lot of, I'm speaking from my experience.
Right.
Okay. There's a lack of safety. I don't feel like there's men that want to protect. Yeah. I told a guy, I said, I feel sick. I don't feel good. I told him I didn't feel good. He's courting me. The man said, get some rest. Not, can I bring some tea?
Can I Instacart something to you?
Nothing. Get some rest. I was like, hello? Okay.
Hello?
That's it? Okay. I know that's the answer, to get some rest, but I'm sick and I can't go out. Will you help? Nothing.
I think in some cases, men need to understand, and women need to understand how to communicate with each other. So for me, I'm a very delicate communicator, especially with my honey. So if he's telling me he's not feeling good, like, we need to have that role play conversation. Like, if I tell you, like in the courting process. So if I tell you and I'm dating you, Kiana, and I say, I'm not feeling well, what is your response to me? And he probably would laugh, or that person would laugh and say, well, what do you mean? I want to know how you would handle me in the event I was sick. And if he says, get some rest, then you already know that's not it, baby. Try again.
That. But you know what I hate? I hate having to
coach.
I do, because some of it is just being thoughtful.
You know what? And you're right. And it's a lot of it is core foundation, but you also have to remember there are some men that have been born and raised in households where there was not that option. There was not that example. Wow. So we have to remember that, right? Yeah. Or there's been women that have allowed them to just kind of handle them in their masculine energy.
That's true.
Then it's almost like you have to meet a person and kind of like massage. So what do you like to do? You have to literally start from the foundation.
I agree with that. I'll give you that. But I also think that you will do whatever you can if you like that person.
I agree with that. Now, for me, I give people the benefit of the doubt to a certain degree. Now, like yelling and all that, if you don't know how to handle yourself in like an intimate setting or be able to have like a real conversation without losing yourself, then I know that you have bad temper, you have bad temperament, and I can't deal with you.
Oh, I got a story.
Tell us.
So I asked the guy he said he was going out of the country. I'm not going to get into too many details. But he said he was going out of the country. And I was like, oh, he had mentioned he was going with 15 other people. I said, well, where are you going? Oh, no, who are you taking? That's what I said. So he was like, well, I got to be taking somebody. I was like, well, you said you
relax.
15 other people going, so I assume one of those 15 were with you.
Right.
And he was like, I'm going to take nobody. I ain't taking nobody with me. I mean, whoever I deal with right now, she got to be on her, baby, hold her own, take care of herself.
Okay, that's too much aggression.
It was a lot happening. We went from 0 to 1,000.
And you're
immediately. I just wanted to know who you was taking. And then he said, I don't even loan money. I swear to God. I said, wait a minute. Well, how did we get from loaning money? And again, we're talking about girlfriend, boyfriend. Because I said, oh, this must be a couple's date. Da, 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 da. He was like, I ain't taking nobody. Okay, fine. And I was like, well, okay. And then he went from, I don't even loan money because I don't loan money. I said, well, wait a minute. If she's your girlfriend,
is it a loan?
Why is it a loan? And he says, this is his opportunity. He could have said, oh, I'm not talking about my girlfriend. Oh, I'm not talking about, he could have said anything. That man said, I don't know. Maybe she needed.
Okay, so
I said, sir.
I will serve somebody real quick.
I said, sir, this is not going to work. Because I don't borrow money from my man.
So, two things. Number one, he had way too much aggression for me.
Hello.
I don't do aggression. We talk very delicate to each other.
Yes.
Okay.
And softly and gentle and loving.
Like I said, I'm a delicate flower. Okay. Yeah. And I will cater to my guy.
Yes.
And treat him with so much respect. But what we don't do is we don't raise our voices at each other.
Unnecessarily.
Okay. Right. So there, he had way too much aggression.
Too much.
Secondly, why are you having your girlfriend borrow money? Like, is there a borrow situation?
Girl, all I know is that man said, I don't know, maybe she needed. And I said, and I asked again, I said, but why would your girlfriend, this is how I'm talking, but why would your girlfriend have
You
to
like
borrow
softened
money?
it all the way
I
up.
did. I softened it real good. Like you
Alicia
soften
does
butter.
that.
Like you soften butter.
I don't understand.
I
I'm
said,
like,
well, why would your girlfriend have to borrow money? And he was like, I want my money back. I said, oh.
bye-bye, sir.
Goodbye. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more. Get from around here. Because I don't ever want to be in a situation that if I'm articulating to my man that I have an issue, whether it's finances or not, whatever, whether he thought I mismanaged my money, whatever. If I'm not going to be in a situation where I have
need to be a
lay
team
with my man and borrow from my man. I'm not doing that. If he can't, like, I understand you can't read my mind, but so if I bring it to you and say, babe, I have an issue.
Right. I need us to be trying to see how we can make each other's lives easier. Okay? I need you together. Okay? I don't want to feel like, you know what? That's a whole nother
topic.
That's
girl.
a whole nother show.
Nother show.
And let me tell you, the men, you got to be very mature to have that conversation, because when we start talking about money and relationships and borrowing and not borrowing,
honest?
be honest, friend.
I've only had that kind of conversation with American men.
Let's talk about it.
I'm telling you, there has never been a man from somewhere else that said, I want my money back. Never.
So I'm going to ask you a question I asked you earlier. So, I'm going to tell you, I'm just loving this blonde on you.
Go ahead, sis.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Girl.
It is popping between the lights and the skin, honey.
You, girl.
It's doing it for me. Do you think that American men are quick to marry or not?
No.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. I think American men look at American black men.
Yes.
African American men look at marriage as a cuff, as a hostage, captive situation.
Yeah.
I think they look at marriage as a death sentence. I think they look at marriage as the end of life and living. I think they look at marriage as things are over. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some men who want to be married.
Yes.
We know that because they do.
And then you have those ones that do want to be married, but they have all these stipulations because they've been hurt.
That part.
It's like, wait a minute.
But a man, foreigners or I don't know, men who are not
I'll tell you.
firstborn American men, they understand that being married is what you should do.
So I spoke to a gentleman. He is Nigerian, and we had a very nice conversation about marriage and I said, it dawned on me when I was at a friend's. He's Nigerian. I was at his birthday function, and 80% of the guys that were there were either married or engaged. And I told my friend, I said, before you invite me to another party where there's a bunch of married men, think again.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we sat there and we had conversation, and the guy that was single, we had a conversation.
Yeah.
And I asked him about, like, y'all are getting married. Like, y'all are in your 30s and early 40s, and you guys are already married.
Yes.
Or getting married. And he says, yeah, we value marriage.
They value marriage, the union.
The union.
And the family unit, and also having children with their wives. Yes.
And so I said, I think, it dawned on me, I said, I think it's an American thing. I hate to say it. Do American black men want to still get married?
I can't answer that because I'm not an American black man, but I will tell you. I was. Hey! I've been proposed to, girl, multiple times, and I said no, and no, because he said I look like your future, and I said you don't look like mine. Okay?
Why didn't you marry him?
Yeah, that man did not have no foundation, no plan.
Oh, well, then there you have it.
When you marry, you take care of a wife, you take on a family, you take on responsibilities. I felt like he was getting to the bag.
He probably was.
And I just feel like overall, it's just, a man, when he takes on a wife, there's responsibilities that come with that and accountabilities. Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I feel like, as it relates to the gentleman that I was talking to, the Nigerian guy, he told me, he said, we will marry immediately. But I said, why do you think that American black men don't marry that way? He says, to be honest with you, I truly believe it's the moral aspect. There's no cultural foundation. And I was like, oh my God.
That makes sense.
It does.
Oftentimes, a lot of guys that we date, and guys that we meet, and guys that we see, their mothers and their fathers weren't married. Right. Their grandmothers and grandfathers weren't married. So that was my mother. So there was a generation, probably 2 generations now, where we didn't see marriages.
Yeah.
My mother, who is 62, her mother and father were married, but my mother and father were not married.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So if I have kids, that is the reason why I don't have children. I wanted my children to be born in a foundation of a mother and a father married in the same house.
So my grandmother and my grandmother and my grandfather are married. Well, they were married until my grandfather passed. And my parents are still married after over 40 years. Mm-hmm. So they're actually high school sweethearts, which is pretty crazy. But so I've seen what it looks like, and I'm like, okay. And
where's my guy?
Yeah. And so I'm okay with it because I've been married before with my daughter's father, my ex-husband, and so we had a family. So I was only perpetuating what I saw. Right. And so moving forward, I'm like, okay, great. Like, this is what I want in my life. And I'm okay. I don't personally want any more kids to come out of my body.
Right.
But I'm okay with the person that I'm with if they have a +1 or a +2.
Yes.
I'm fine with that. Yeah. Being, a bonus mom. But we need to marry more in our community.
We need to talk about it. We need to be open. We celebrate baby showers, but we
don't celebrate weddings.
We celebrate them, but we be like, you get married? Oh, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Somebody's got a question in the back.
A man in the house.
The man in the back. God is dope.
Well, go ahead, sir.
What do you think about men leaving the country to find women?
I think that the reason they do that is because they're looking for a particular type of woman.
Which one is it?
If you go get a woman from overseas, you automatically, you're gonna hate when I say this, you already got a little hostage. She can't go nowhere. She can't do nothing. She don't have no education most of the time. She don't have no foundation. She ain't got no friends. She ain't got no family. And she ain't gonna say nothing. She ain't gonna go nowhere. Why? Because you are her provider. You are her provision. You cover, protect, and cover. You provide for her. I'm not saying anything is wrong with it. I'm just saying you get this woman from over there. She come over here. She's gonna worship you like a god in a way that we are not gonna do because you're not providing for us the way that she is being provided for. Anytime a man, let me keep it 100. Anytime a man, when you providing everything. House, money, security, and I'm not saying all citizenship. It's a different type of
citizenship. Costs a lot of money these days.
It's a different type of allegiance. It's a different type of loyalty. It's a different type of honoring. And again, you can get that same type of honoring here, but are you providing that kind of lifestyle? Are you? And we don't even know if that man to go get that woman from overseas is he kind? We don't know. But let's just say he is kind. Let's say he's a good man to that woman. But is he that same good man to us?
Oh, hello. I would agree. I do feel like the reason why men will go overseas is because they want a woman that's not going to give them any lip.
You think it's just about the mouth?
I think, and some other mouth. But I definitely feel like they want a woman that it's a control factor. Mm-hmm. They want the woman to want them and to need them. Mm-hmm. And maybe they just know that they don't have to do so much to attain that woman. Mm-hmm. And it's just easy. Yeah. And she worships. I actually saw this show about it.
Yeah. It's interesting that I love these questions because, you'll get we have a lot going on. Yeah. So let's just say this bar is pretty high. We bought our own homes. We raised our kids. Why are we having to raise our kids by ourselves? But that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
We built our businesses. We doing this. We doing this. Yeah. We running this. We running. So the bar is here. So if a man comes to you, mm-hmm. you need him to be at least where? I personally don't want a man I don't want an equal.
Me neither.
I want a greater than.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you why I want a greater than. The reason why I want a greater than because I have experienced my equal being insecure. Mm. My equal has been he's felt inadequate. I didn't say he was inadequate. He felt inadequate. He felt insecure, inadequate, not good enough. All those things, and I'm like, sir, I don't treat you this way. Right. You came in the room with that energy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I need a greater than who can teach me something, who feels good about himself. Right. I need a greater than that got what? A Eminem.
Right.
He got that money.
That
manhood. He got them M&Ms. He feel good about himself.
Right.
He bossed up.
Right.
He walks in the room with that big dick energy, and then you're like,
you're like, oh my God. Hi.
Girl, I gotta go home, girl. I gotta go. M&M night. You done brought them M&Ms in here, girl. You understand what I'm saying? So that is the reason why you go over there, because when you go over there to get her, I want an M&M with the nuts in them.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying?
I don't blame you.
If you go over there, you don't have to have the M&M with the nuts in. You just have some M's.
So tell me this, because we speak about a little bit about your personal experiences. So have you ever dated a man in your profession?
No, I don't date comedians, girl. I don't want no funny man.
You want to be the only funny one in the room?
I just want to be the only funny one in the room. But no, I would date a producer or,
But do comedians come on to you? Do they like you?
I found myself attracted to certain comedians.
There's some cute comedians out there.
But girl, we on the same flyer.
Equal. Right. Y'all getting booked at the same time, girl. Hello. Okay, so oh God, there was a question.
So there's definitely comedians that I've been attracted to, and there's been comedians that have kind of approached me, but it's always sideways. They'll be like, "Man, we can't date." Okay, since you said it, we can't.
Okay, manifest it then, sir.
He's already.
He's already.
Damned it.
Done. Okay, so could you date a man that has? Could you be with? Okay, so what if you found out that your forever guy?
Okay.
What if you found out your forever guy shared the wrong political views?
Ugh.
Could you be with him? He's your
You
forever
mean my
guy.
husband voting for Herschel?
Girl.
Yeah! The house divided will
erections
fall.
Instead of elections, girl.
It will fall. I would strongly.
You would let him go? Everything is perfect.
How would I know? I should have known that before I knew he was perfect.
Well, what if his political views kind of change a little bit? That's tough.
It is tough, and I'm not sure how I feel about that because I'm so active and I'm so.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be. I would pray on that one because I don't know if God would send that one to me.
I don't think God will send that to you, but I'm gonna tell you.
But
this.
if He did, let me pray on it, Lord.
So we spoke a little about this before. You know that there's a market for women that date bisexual men.
Oh.
There is.
There is. And you know why?
Tell me.
This is my personal belief.
We're going to have a disclaimer on this show.
Dead in this camera. I believe women date bisexual men because she's broken.
Really?
And she's so insecure about being alone that she'll take anything. That same woman would take abuse. That same woman would take she'll be a side chick. That same woman would date a bisexual man, a poly man. That same woman will take anything less than she deserves because she feels like she's unworthy and she's broken in the mind, body, and even in the spirit.
So
because you cannot tell me.
So you don't want to, because there's a different level of freakiness nowadays.
Is she in the bed with the people?
Yeah.
Again, I stand on all my word. I said what I said. I believe, and I think oftentimes, there is definitely different levels of freakiness, but I think also some of the things that women do is because they're looking for validation and they're looking for acceptance from the man that she wants.
So you think that's the reason why there's such a high level of freakiness nowadays?
Girl, I think they just be nasty because they want something to do, but I do believe it's just a level of, he want me to do it, I'm going to do it.
Just and you believe that the level of freakiness is coming from a place of insecurities?
Yes.
Because let me tell you, the freak levels nowadays is on a whole nother level. And I'm like, but aren't you supposed to do that with your husband, your wife?
What you gonna do? What is left sacred?
You got to leave at least one thing sacred.
One thing, but okay. So let me say this.
At least one thing.
If you're gonna do a threesome, would you do that with your husband?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so you do that with your little freaky link.
It got to be a freaky link.
Yeah.
Because it can't even be somebody you constantly dating.
Okay. So,
but people, they doing it with everybody.
They do it with everybody. So again, I feel like there are certain things that you keep for your husband. Like, I'm not inviting anyone into my marital home.
Girl.
My marital bed? No.
Or, would you, in your dating relationship, would you?
Sis.
No, because if you're dating them for a potential.
That's my goal at this point.
Right.
I'm past all that. You
right.
should have caught me in my 30s.
And so that's what I say. I tell people, but I have friends that are of equal age group. And
so
I'm like,
you talk to them, girl, what's wrong with you?
I do. I'm going to tell them, I'm like, girl, you got to button that thing up. Put that thing on some ice. Because go take a spiritual bath. Go do something. Get that little thing up off you.
Yeah, whatever it is, I don't want no part of it.
But that's what I said. I feel like the freaky levels have surpassed and people are just like, oh, I'm doing everything. Like, it doesn't matter. And you're
I think they also don't have a spiritual foundation. I'm convicted by certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. Like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to have to I'm like, God gonna be like, you had 6 of them? 6? You want me to forgive you for 6? Now I didn't forgive you for the 2. Now 6. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, so where do you stop? There's no boundaries. And now now you want me to put your walls back in. You didn't throw your walls down. Right. Now you're praying for it because you didn't met your husband. Now you want me to put the walls back up.
And your husband don't understand why he love you all over, but he just can't get it off because you just...
Because your walls tore down to the 6. You want God to fix that. You want God to fix your 6. Now I done fix your 2.
Right.
At the same time. Now you got a husband. Now you're like, God, please fix. Girl, sit down somewhere.
Sit down, relax.
All the way down.
And you're right. I think it's boundaries, number
Boundaries.
1. And I think it's a spiritual foundation.
There's no
because
spiritual foundation.
If you actually have a spiritual foundation, you feel like obligated
to
lead
right.
and to deliver a certain way.
Right.
At least try.
And then also, I think there's a lack of respect for your body.
Yes.
Yeah. And because so again, back full circle, because you're broken, there's a lack of spiritual foundation, a lack of respect for your body.
Yes.
You're doing anything for anybody with anybody, right?
Yeah.
And then you have no boundaries and you have no respect for yourself. So it's just like all balls to the wall. Let's go.
I don't understand. And I'm a mom, so I really feel like at the end of the day, like I never want to do anything socially.
Yeah.
Publicly.
That's going to
tarnish my legacy,
Yeah.
my daughter. Like I could never imagine like Kim Kardashian's kids when they get big enough to know really what's going on.
Baby, I went to an elementary school about 2 weeks ago and I asked the girls in the class, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I promise you, one of the girls said, Kim Kardashian. I said, do you know what she does or how she got famous? No.
Who's your mommy?
So heartbroken.
Let me slide your mommy my number.
Everybody wanted to be a singer. Everybody wanted to be an actress. Everybody wanted to be an influencer. But nobody wanted to. There was one doctor, one veterinarian, and one police officer out of all the girls.
Everybody else wanted to be.
Everybody else wanted to be a thotty hottie.
What city was it in?
Dunwoody.
Dunwoody? Well, their school system's
And it
not
was
the best anyway.
it was like a church school.
Really?
I was brokenhearted. I couldn't believe it. And I had to keep it real with them. I said, well, that means you're going to be broke for a while.
Yeah.
An actress, you're broke.
And you're going to have to do some things that you don't want to do.
Right. That's going to have you compromise.
And guess what? It's going to put you further even behind the totem pole because everybody else in front of you is going to be doing those things.
Yeah, and it don't work all the time. Look, Kim Kardashian, she was prepared for it because of who she was and the people she had around her. But it didn't work for what is the actor name? Lawrence Fishburne. His daughter has a porn tape.
Oh, that's right.
Didn't work. We don't know nothing about it other than she got a porn tape.
Yeah, that's very embarrassing. That's very embarrassing.
So it, huh?
Not bad either.
Trav, you saw it.
Bless her. But again, it didn't work for her. So it also depends on who you are.
Well, and also, unfortunately, KK, Kim Kardashian's mom, was a huge influence in making sure her daughter got centerfolds and Playboy, etc.
It is what it is now. What are we going to do?
Then you get with a man that also equally exploited you. I mean, she's been exploited all her life.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that's the price of fame.
Who you refer to?
Kanye.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things.
The best thing to do is to really find a connection with someone that you love.
Yes.
The goal is, at the end of the day, we were put on this earth to create, to procreate. What we're doing right now is destroying.
Everything.
We essentially became the enemy.
Yeah.
We destroy, we kill, and we need to. What we're supposed to be doing is multiplying, girl. At the end of the day, I say,
oh, we multiplying, all right.
We multiplying, all we girl.
We need to have households and foundations while we're multiplying, not multiplying and going
husbands and wives,
constantly dropping off these seeds all over the place
and not taking care of them. That part.
Where can these people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or my website. It's all the same, Kiana Dancie, KIANADANCIE. Let me do that again, because for the people in the back, it's a little slow. KIANADANCIE.
I appreciate you so much for coming.
You know what? I appreciate you.
You look gorgeous today.
Thank you, sis.
Okay.
I love being here with you. I had a great time.
Thank you so much. I am Cocktails with Carly. You can find us on Instagram at Let's Talk Over Cocktails and on YouTube, Let's Talk Over Cocktails with Carly, or Let's Talk About It Over Cocktails with Carly, sorry. And then, of course, you can find me on Instagram on my personal page at Cocktails with Carly _ If you guys are interested in this amazing production, reach out to Trav in the back at The Cool One on Instagram. Other than that, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.
Yep. Don't forget to get your tickets.
Yes.
December 17th, the Baggage Claim at ATL Comedy Theater.
That's right. Bye.